Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, episode 31.
We really got to understand that it all starts with how we feed our bodies. And if you're not feeding your body life and clean, organic, non-GMO, unchemicalized foods, then you're not going to be functioning in your right mind state. You're not going to be functioning emotionally.
It's time to reverse the imbalances in your life as you take the first step on your own journey towards personal change. Welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, educating, empowering, and inspiring individuals to live healthier. Now here are your hosts and your guides to natural living, Jamal and Kim.
Hi, welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe podcast. I'm Kim and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And this is episode
Peace and
number
blessings.
Yes, and this is episode number 31 featuring Chef Sa. Chef Sa is a raw food vegan chef based out of Columbia, South Carolina. And this interview that we're going to be diving into with her was an amazing interview. She shared her journey in her life and her journey into eventually getting into the raw food cuisine. And she has an amazing restaurant out in Columbia, South Carolina. And in this episode, she touches on what she does out of the different detox programs, how she's helped people, and how she basically ended up with a restaurant, which she didn't want to start there.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing interview. She shares so much insight. She talks about sun gazing. She shares a delicious raw food cheese recipe, so stay tuned for that. And she shares a lot of insight on how she's healing humanity with her Rawtopian Bliss, which is her raw vegan deli. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm looking forward to presenting this to you and letting you check it out. There's definitely a shift that's going on, and more people are starting to wake up and become more conscious to the importance of just better health and better eating. So we want to be at the forefront and trying to provide you with that information to inspire you to be better and to change and transform your health. So definitely stick around to the end when she reveals that great recipe for you to try.
Yes, and before we head into that interview, just to remind everyone, Jamal and I did change the format of the show. We will be releasing one episode each and every week on Monday, and we will no longer be releasing the recap on Wednesday. So every Monday, tune in for a powerful interview to help educate, empower, and inspire you to live healthier. Okay, so without further ado, here's our interview with Chef Sa. Hi, Kim and Jamal here, and we are joined by Chef Sa. Chef Sa, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you all this morning?
We're doing amazing.
Good. Greetings.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we're just so excited to talk with you and share your message and the work that you're doing with our community.
Yeah, definitely.
Blessed. Well, I'm so excited. The world is definitely shifting in so many ways, and I'm so thankful to be on the cusp and one of the pioneers, this kind of ushering humanity really into the realm of raw veganism. I'm so excited about it.
Right.
Definitely. And before we dive into the interview, I'm just going to share a little bit about Chef Sa and some of the amazing work that she's doing. Chef Sa has been a student of the naturopath healing arts for the past 20 years. Since becoming a naturalist and vegetarian changed her life in 1995. She has lived under the guidance of several spiritual masters and studied the principles of holistic health under the teachings of 4 of the nation's leading melanin-centered holistic health professionals, Dr. Llaila O Africa, Dr. Paul Goss, Dr. Pookrum and Queen Afua. She trained as a raw food chef at the Body Ecology Life Sciences Attunement Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. In her devotion to divine purpose, she has assisted many in transforming their lives from distress to wellness through diet change, internal cleansing, yoga, meditation, and spiritual law. In 2002, she founded Supreme Love and Light, a holistic health ministry and retreat center in the southeastern United States, largely based out of Columbia, South Carolina. Chef Sa regularly facilitates classes and workshops on the benefits of vegetarianism, living foods, internal cleansing, stress management techniques, and spiritual law. She is available for lectures and workshops for women's groups, churches, community organizations, public schools, colleges, and universities, as well as vegetarian restaurants and health food establishments. Chef Sa is a mother to many, a writer, poet, artist, musician, and ordained priestess in the Churchical Order of Rastafari and the Cosmic Golden Reorder of Melchizedek. This work is her divine calling and ministry according to God's purpose for her life.
Yes. Great
That's
word.
That's me.
Nice.
Yes.
And speaking of shift, because I know you were referring to a shift that's happening. We're definitely seeing a shift that's going on in the South, because we were looking at your events, and we see that you had Kajara from Raseki Art Center do a workshop down there, and we recently had her on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah, episode 29.
Yeah, and
wow.
And then we had who was the chef that we had from the raw food chef from? We had another chef from South Carolina on the show.
Oh, Ashley.
As well. Yeah, Ashley.
Ashley Shaw.
Yeah, and we see a lot of things are starting to emerge from the South as far as like the natural health and holistic healing movement. And it's just a beautiful thing.
And I think also,
it is.
You know, my parents are from South Carolina. I spent so many summers down there. So South Carolina always has a special place in my heart. But to see the transformation, or like Jamal said, the shifting going on, because a lot of times the diet in the South hasn't been the healthiest. So, yeah,
True.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Like I said, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years, going on 21, and you know, I started my journey in California, and because I lived in LA for like 11 years, and when I came home, I'm a vegetarian. It just blew everybody's mind, and home for me, you know, being South Carolina, where you know the soul food diet is like the order of the day.
Yes.
In every household, it's hard to think of any kind of meal without meat on your plate. And it was really like I was an alien entity for most folks.
I'm sure.
You know, and it was so hard in the beginning, and I felt very, you know, isolated, and you know, couldn't really connect with a lot of people, specifically because I was vegetarian, and now there's this humongous wave and shift where people are seriously getting on board with changing their diet, and literally people are knocking my door down every single day, saying, I heard about you and I want to change my diet, or I have diabetes and I need to change my diet, and you know, because I teach classes and things like that. It's like, it's so awesome, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's a shift going on. So, you know, it's something internal that's awakening in people and causing them to begin to be attracted to this particular vibration.
Yes.
Just to, you know, backtrack a bit, because we have a lot of listeners on there that are learning about you for the first time. So why don't you take a moment and share with us your personal story? You know, what is your personal journey? Who is Chef Saa'Shalom?
Blessed. Well, I'll tell you, I grew up like the average individual here in America. I was raised between South Carolina and D.C. I was raised here with South Carolina with my grandparents, and in D.C. with my parents and my siblings. And all throughout my childhood, I mean, some of my very, very earliest memories, I just always remember having lots of colds and runny nose and mucus, and to the degree where it just was always, my system was just backed up, and I literally could not breathe out of both of my nostrils for the majority of my life. And that just always was strange to me as a child. I'm like, okay, God gave me like 2 nostrils. Why is it that I cannot breathe out of both of them at the same time? It was so crazy. But, you know, we were raised on milk and government cheese and spaghetti and meatballs and rice and gravy and fried chicken and all of this stuff. And I mean, it was 5 of us. My mom, she had 5 children. So I grew up in a town where they actually delivered milk to your doorstep. Okay, that's how ancient I can be. So, and we literally drank like 3 gallons of milk over the course of a 2-day time span. So that should just tell you, when you know and understand what milk is today,
right,
to what degree our bodies were just congested. And then I realized over time, as I became into my early teens and things like that both of my grandmothers were diabetics. My grandmother here in South Carolina was, my grandmother in D.C. was, and they both had to take needles. And I'm like, whoa, that's deep. I ain't trying to do that. You know, where did this come from? How did this happen? Then slowly but surely, my mom's sisters, my mom has like 7 sisters, and all of a sudden, you know, they're diabetic. Then I think around, my mom was maybe about 55, and she tells me that she's a diabetic now. And I'm like, whoa, I mean, is this thing like coming for me? Because this is not about to go down like this. I'm not doing this. So, and I think I'm a Virgo person, and if you know much about Virgos, you know, we are just kind of naturally health conscious, whether we're doing it consciously or subconsciously. And I just think when I got it out of my own in my early 20s, there's certain things I just never bought and I never made, I never cooked, that type of thing. And eventually I just got to a point where I just in my brain said, you know what, one day I'm going to cut this perm out of my head, and I think I'm going to grow some locks. I don't know why, but these were things that went through my mind. And eventually I said, oh, one day I think I'm just going to become a vegetarian. I'm thinking when I'm 40 or something like that, I'm going to become a vegetarian. And I think in my early 30s, I got married, and I had a daughter. I was a young mom. I got married. Got pregnant my first year of college. So I'm raising a young lady, and I'm a single mom for quite a minute. And then eventually I get married. And I just one day says, you know what, this perm has got to go. My husband cut it off for me. The next morning, my daughter mind was blown. I'm like, God, you cut all your hair off. A week later, she cuts hers off.
Wow.
And then about a month later, I decided, look, we're going vegetarian. And I never looked back. And from there, my life has totally changed. My consciousness shifted. It was unbelievable to me to feel the strength and the power of my natural hair like I'd never felt it in my life before, because literally my parents didn't know anything about, so I don't know how my mom has 7 sisters and don't know how to do hair. But, you know, at a young age, right? At a young age, I got a perm in my head, and so I never felt the real hair growing out of my head. So the first time, and now the universe is speaking to me in ways I never understood. And for a minute, I thought I was actually going crazy because I was just so receptive, and I was hearing voices and this, that, and the other. And I realized that this was the receptivity of the universe. And the more I studied, the more I understood that our hair is like an antenna, and it keeps us tuned in to the divine presence. And then when I cleaned up my diet, then all of the voices kind of cleared up and cleaned up. And now it's like the Creator has totally guided me through my journey. And I've learned I got initiated into meditation. I've embraced a lifestyle of yoga. And I just naturally became a teacher, and I started teaching other people about how the benefits of vegetarianism has affected my life. And then I think in about 2001, I got introduced to the raw lifestyle, and I got invited to Greensboro to assist the gentleman who owned this business, and he said he would train me on raw foods and live medicines and live water, and he did, and it was a phenomenally awesome experience for me. It was just a life-altering experience, and I've never looked back. And ever since then, I just knew this is my life calling. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I just knew it, and it's just, And so now it's like I'm Chef Sa, and everybody seeks me out. I consider myself the raw vegan poster child, and I've got 2 recipe books out. The first one is simply Awesome Delights, and the next one is Organic Goddess Leaves, and I'm actually working on my 3rd book. It's going to be called The Heavenly Body Project. And I have a personal fitness trainer now, and he's just helping me go to new heights as it relates to, my physique and the way that I'm doing it, because, there's still a little bit of a controversy that goes on in the fitness world from, the meat eaters version of fitness versus the raw vegan version of fitness. And as we know, there are several raw foodists out there that are bodybuilders and fitness trainers and that sort of thing. And so that world is meeting and hopefully trying to come to a oneness, because we definitely can get all that we need out of plant-based protein. And I'm just loving my journey totally and completely. I think the most difficult part of my journey is probably finding the kind of folks that I need to assist me in my work, because I cannot just hire anybody off the street.
Right.
I have to deal with people who are already kind of on the path of at least being a vegetarian, because they have the right kind of mindset and the right kind of temperament for the work that I do. I've had people in my kitchen who are not, and unfortunately, when your diet is not clean, there's still a bit of confusion and drama and chaos that comes with that. And so, I love running a peaceful establishment. When people come in, they come into an arena that's, just very peaceful and calm, and it's high vibrational, and it makes you feel like, wow, this is a heavenly experience here. And so I really just love what I do. It's definitely my calling. I wouldn't be doing anything else with my life. And I still have levels to go as far as the success of what I do, and I'm so excited about it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Excellent story and great testimony as well.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing how when you begin to remove certain blockages and congestion in your life, how it just breaks you through to whole new heights and levels?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, my life has been cleaned up, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually and consciously.
Right.
And that's what happens when you clean your temple up. All of your senses heighten up, and we actually can discern things better, and we make better choices, and we have more peace inside, so we can create more peace in the outer aspect of our life. It's just so awesome.
Yeah, and you can clearly see that in your story. And I know that it's going to inspire a lot of people. So,
blessed. So
right now, just looking at, with the work that you do as a practitioner of this journey, and you look at our country as a whole, how do you feel? Like, what do you feel about the current state of health in the United States?
Well, I see it like this. There's a lot going on. The divine presence has its agenda, and the false powers that be have their agenda. And those of us, there are many of us who are tuned in to what's going on, and then there are a lot of us who are struggling and trying to be tuned into what's going on. There definitely is an agenda to reduce the population on the planet, and food is one of the ways in which that is being carried out. Vaccines is another way. It's very important that we be aware that vaccines are very unhealthy for us. They're given to us as infants, and they're given to us as military people, and there's an agenda working towards trying to create a situation where there's mandatory vaccines, and we want to really, really be paying attention to those things and work against that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then as well, reproductive services. They're trying to snatch in as many wombs out of women's bodies as they possibly can. They're tying as many tubes as they possibly can. They're creating products and services that will sterilize and make it unable for us to reproduce. So we really got to understand that it all starts with how we feed our bodies.
Yes.
And if you're not feeding your body life and clean, organic, non-GMO, unchemicalized foods, then you're not going to be functioning in your right mind state. You're not going to be functioning emotionally. And when we're not in our right minds and we're not emotionally in control of ourselves, this is what gives the system the ammunition it needs to kind of destroy us. And many people are going to suffer. But those who are really paying attention, who are diligent about changing their diet, upgrading their health, are going to stand a great chance of getting through. And really, it's a spiritual cleansing as well. And unfortunately, the negative powers that be are working in harmony with that, in alignment with that, because all things work together.
Right.
For those who live in the midst of the Most High. All things are working together. The negative forces are working together with the divine presence, whether they're consciously aware of it or not.
Right.
And the divine presence is trying to constantly get our attention. So people are definitely wising up that they got to change their diet, that our food supply is extremely contaminated, and information is finally getting out about it, and those who care are doing something about it, and those who don't are going to be eliminated, and that's just what it is. Not because I say so, but that's just the reality of the situation that we're dealing with.
Right. And you brought up a few great points. You talk about vaccinations. That's a whole new topic that we haven't spoken about on the show. Just what's being done to our bodies and how we're being poisoned, and then all the way to reproductive, entire reproductive systems being removed.
Right.
And then you speak about just the critical thinking about that, like people just being mindful of it, because we're just in a time where people are willingly doing these things to themselves, and they're unaware of the potential hazards of doing these things. So I think it's great that you brought it up, and also just the importance of being, just being aware of these things, because it doesn't matter if you don't know and you're totally following blindly. When the damage comes your way and the negativity comes your way, you're going to be affected whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
So
I think one of the big reasons what makes it so difficult is that the world that we've created has people on such a rat race pace that they're only on survival mode. The average individual stays on survival mode, and when you're in survival mode, you don't slow down, and you can't pay attention, and certain things are getting by you, and you're not catching it. It's just every day is about the struggle to survive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we speak about that. Like people are just in autopilot. They're just going through these cycles, these continuous cycles, and not aware of anything.
Exactly.
They're just going through the motions. Yeah. So there's an awareness and a shift that is happening, and that needs to happen. And that's one of the reasons why we do this show, because we want to begin to make more people aware. And then, like you mentioned before, it's a difficult journey in the beginning. So we wanted to be able to provide that support and inspire others to continue on their way, and to let them know that you're headed in the right direction. Because in the beginning, that's when you reach, when you get so much resistance,
right,
until you have that breakthrough. So that's why we do shows like these. So definitely happy to dive in to this topic today. And so you do so many things that we definitely want to get into today. Like, what is your approach to helping people to heal themselves on this health journey?
My step number one is I coach people through detoxes, and I always recommend, most of the time, I recommend the 90-day detox. It's because the average individual has not done a detox these days.
Right.
In this particular era, where no one's detoxing, where people are coming into the awareness eventually that they need to detox. And I always ask people, if this is your first time as an adult to do a detox, you definitely need to do 90 days.
Yeah.
In 90 days, what you can do is totally detox and cleanse your body on the cellular level. At the same time, you're going to embrace, during this 90-day period, the raw vegan lifestyle that I subscribe to my clients. As well, through this process, you're going to reprogram your taste buds so you actually can appreciate the taste of food again and not just chemicals and salts and sugar like most people are addicted to.
Right.
So that is actually step number one. From there, a part of my detox program is I require that my people set time aside for meditation, sun gazing, affirmation in their morning, as well as green juicing is definitely a part of the detox process. We have so many stigmas in our brain about juicing. We don't like anything green. Unfortunately, we don't like nothing black, like an avocado or seaweed, because, we've been taught to hate blackness.
Right. Yeah.
And in all the movies, all the horrible stuff is always green. So the system intentionally designs it so that we hate green things, which bring us life,
right,
and that we hate black things, which is what we are. And so these are my systems. This is the first step towards healing your body, to detox your body, to learn the power of meditation, to sit in the sun so you can recharge your melanin, to reaffirm your brain so you can reprogram from negative thought patterns to positive thought patterns, so that you actually can rebirth the new you. And in 90 days, you can actually do that.
Yeah.
And it's a very powerful experience that I take my people through. And when they get done on the other side, they are forever changed. And I absolutely love watching the transformation process. There's not a higher high in the universe for me.
Right. And I'm so happy to hear about the journey, the 90-day journey, because, there's so many people out there, that have this misconception of detoxification. And even though it's starting to become more popular now, more people are detoxing, they're not going about it the right way. The average person, they'll pick up an over-the-counter 3-day detox, and they think that after 3 days they're squeaky clean,
right.
And
or they use it as a temporary fix.
Yeah, temporary fix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's what's a trick too is they'll do that, but they won't even change their diet.
Right.
They'll just do that detox, that over-the-counter detox, but they won't even change their diet a lot of times, and that's the sad part. It's like, wow.
Right. Yeah. We have in New Jersey, we own a holistic center, and we work with people with cleansing as well. And that's the common thing. People come in, they do at most a 2-week detox, 15 days. And and they think that and they did that like 3 years ago, and that's it. And they think that they're good to go. So I'm happy that you bring that up, like the importance of putting work in, putting time in, day out for 90 days straight on detoxifying yourself on a cellular level. I think that is great. And you also brought up something else that we've never spoken about on the show, and that's sun gazing. Can you talk about that a little bit, and why is it so powerful?
Oh, yes, definitely. Sun gazing and earthing, two very, very healing and vibration raising exercises that I love introducing my clients to. We, as melanin dominant beings, our bodies require at least an hour and a half of sun every day.
Yes.
And the majority of us are not really getting that. Because we're, again, on survival mode. We're, again, sitting in a lot of these sick buildings, breathing this recycled air conditioned, lacking in oxygen, so-called air, and we're not getting enough sun. And sun gazing recharges our melanin. It heals our body. It transforms the healthy, the good cholesterol that rests right under our first layer of skin, and transforms it into vitamin D. And so we need to do that. I mean, it's calming for us. It's another way for the universe to download understanding to us. It's an opportunity for us to tune ourselves into our core, which is the divine presence that dwells inside of us. So, and most of us, again, just, from a spiritual perspective, most of us think that spirituality is just I got to go to church and that type of thing. That's just a routine exercise. To me, church is more like a social club than anything else. And nothing wrong with church, because it's good to do that. It's always good to get together and, be with fellow worshipers, I suppose, and fellowship and that sort of thing.
Right.
But from a spiritual enrichment perspective, you're not going to get so much there. Mm-hmm. So the real church is inside your body.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So exactly. So we want to sit in the sun, and we want to put our feet on the earth and allow that electrical energy from the earth to flow through us, and that electrical energy from the sun to hit us in our first eye and awaken us on a deeper level and help to raise our vibration so that we can rise above our lower nature, rise above all the negativities that go on around us on a daily, so that we don't get caught up in the current of other outside dramas, negative dramas and chaos and confusion, but we stay more grounded when we do those things.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you hit it right on the nose there. Just in taking a holistic approach in everything that you do in your life, not just with your healing, but even spiritually taking a holistic approach, not just going to your place of worship, but taking a personal holistic approach in every aspect of our lives, the importance of that. So I'm glad that I'm glad that you pointed that out, because it is so important.
Bless it.
And so let's talk about Rawtopian Bliss.
Yes. That's my big baby. Oh my God. Rawtopian Bliss has totally turned my world. It's totally flipped my world. I absolutely love it. It is dragging me around by the collar right now because it is blowing up so humongously.
That's a great problem to have.
Right.
Okay. I originally started out as an instructional kitchen where I primarily just did classes on raw vegan culinary classes. And then I did personal chefing for certain ones of my clients that I coached with detox and stuff like that. And then what started to happen was that the people who took my classes would take food home and share with their family, with their friends, and sometimes with their coworkers. And then those individuals would show up at my doorstep talking about, can I get a menu? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. We don't have menus here. We teach classes. Oh, wow. Really? Oh, my God, because I tasted that pizza that you made, and I wanted to order one, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, but you can sign up for a class. Oh, well, so a lot of people at that time were particularly not necessarily interested in taking a class, but they loved the food. Yeah. And honestly, the vast majority of my clients are not necessarily vegan, but they absolutely love the food. So Rawtopian Bliss is the big baby of my life that sucks up all of my time and energy. And I'm like, it's just ruling my world right now because it is in tremendous demand. And I love it. We are a raw vegan deli. It's supposed to be a deli, whereas my work used to be 75% teaching classes and 25% personal chefing services. Now it's 75% Rawtopian Bliss and 25% classes and coaching services. And it's just because the demand for the food has been so strong. And like last month, I think I did maybe 3 classes. And this month, I have to book a bunch of classes. Well, this coming month, March, I have to book a bunch of classes because now I have a whole mailing list of people who are saying, I need class, I want a class, I want a class. But it's so difficult for me because, in a sense, I'm still kind of a one-woman thing, which I don't really like, again, because it's really hard to find good quality help, which is something I never knew in the restaurant business, and I never really wanted to do a restaurant, but it's just the way it's evolved. And, you know, and then I'm also one of these, I guess, type A type personality types, and sometimes people just kind of have a hard time with me because I'm very direct. I'm very, like, direct. I'm very, like, open. I'm very honest, and I like people to be that way with me, and I think it's a good thing. I like being honest, and I like being direct.
Yeah.
And I'm very forward. And unfortunately, you know, in this climate that we live here in America, people want the sugar-coated political everything, and I don't do any of that. I just like being real. I like telling it like it is, and I want to hear it like it is from other people. I don't want the sugar-coated version of anything. And so when people then work with me and they get the direct version of me, a lot of times they can't handle it. And see, I'm, again, a meditator. I'm a person that's totally humbled my life to the divine. So I'm the person that is always wanting to follow instructions. So people around me need to know how to just simply follow instructions. I don't believe that I'm ever rude or disrespectful, but, you know, sometimes when people are super sensitive, you know, she's so rude, she's so, whatever, you know. So it's hard for me sometimes to find the kind of help that I need. But it's coming. I feel it. I got some really, really devoted and dedicated disciples of the raw vegan movement who are serious about getting it for themselves, and that's how you just got to be. You got to get it for yourself.
Right.
Once you get it for yourself, then you can share it with the rest of the world around you.
Yeah.
And so Rawtopian Bliss is totally consuming my life. After I get off of this phone call with you guys, I have a consultation at 10 o'clock, and then I got to stop for the entire week for my space. And it's a piece of work.
Right.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we definitely understand the beautiful, you know, struggle.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I love the way you put it. It's a beautiful struggle.
Yeah. So, so like right now with Rawtopian Bliss, is it, people can just walk in and on demand, they can, buy, you know, raw vegan selections?
Oh, yes. We actually just, last year, towards the end of the year, finally was able to get our paper menus. I had been doing our menu online on our website, which is rawtopianbliss.org, where we post our menu daily. And because there's so many different wonderful dishes that we can create, but we cannot realistically afford to create them every single day, we have certain staple items that we have every day, and then we feature 2 or 3 specialized dishes. Every day of the week we have a different theme, like Tuesdays is Asian dish day. Wednesdays is Italian dish day. Thursdays is Mexican food day. Fridays is seafood day, and Saturdays is like international day. You could get almost anything on Saturdays. And so people come in, they order food. We create a very, very beautiful, blissful atmosphere with awesome music. And I have my 2 young people, my youth. They work with me. They're my absolute joys. My 16-year-old and my 14-year-old. They are the joy of my life, and they actually help me to run my business.
Nice.
Yes, my 16-year-old, he is a full-fledged raw vegan chef. My 14-year-old, I call her the CFO. she is the one who is our hostess, and she handles all of our money.
Wow.
And she greets our guests, and she helps them to figure out what they want on the menu. And everyone loves them. And they are so awesome, and they teach me so much every single day. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. That is great to hear. We getting the family involved, getting the young ones involved. They need to see this. They need to be in the energy. They need to grow in this. So I think that's amazing.
Exactly.
And you know, we're kind of kicking ourselves because we took a road trip a few months ago, and we came down from Jersey and drove down to Florida. And at the time, we weren't aware of your location. We definitely would have stopped on the way through and got something to eat.
I know.
Listen.
Next time.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because we get people from everywhere, all over. We get people who come from Atlanta to eat with us. We get people come from D.C. to eat with us. We've had, I remember one couple, this Caucasian couple, that they're musicians, and they say they're vegan, and they stay on the road with their music thing, and they have traveled all across the country. And they said when they found us, they said they couldn't believe it. They said this is by far the absolute best vegan food we've had, and we've eaten at almost every vegan's place across the country. And that was just like the defining moment of confirmation. It just blew me away.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations on your work and success.
Yes.
Bless it.
Now there are a lot of people out there that they're on their own and they have thought about or tried to make some raw vegan and plant-based meals, but they struggle with that. What type of advice would you give to a person that's beginning their journey as far as plant-based eating as well as raw vegan or veganism?
Oh, yeah. There is so much information out there right now. There's so many things you could just get on, from Facebook to just Googling, on YouTube, raw vegan recipes. You can find almost any meat-based version dish in a raw vegan format. You could just get on YouTube and just Google raw vegan spaghetti, raw vegan meatloaf, raw vegan pizza, whatever. It's out there. The information is there. I think people struggle because they're looking in their own environment where stuff doesn't really exist yet for them.
Right.
And it took, even when I initially made my transition 20 years ago, all I knew initially was that I'm not eating meat no more. So, I went through the first stage is just to eat a lot of salads for a long time. And then you get kind of bored and say, wait a minute, there's got to be something better than this going on. And then, I started, finding the health food stores. So that's what you want to do. You want to find the local health food stores in your area and get an employee at the health food store and tell them what you're trying to do. They will help you. Trader Joe's is my favorite health food store on the planet right now.
Yes.
And because they have good prices and they have good products. They don't do any GMO stuff. And I think for the most part, I can trust them. Next in line would be the Earth Fairs and the Whole Foods. And then I'm hearing some new stuff about Aldi's, which is also owned by the same people who own Trader Joe's.
Oh, wow.
Is now,
know that.
Yes, exactly. They're going organic. And what else? They're going organic is something else that they're supposed to be doing that's really awesome. But so you want to look for your local health food stores, and then you just want to get online, and you just want to find yourself vegan recipes. And if you're a Facebooker, oh my God, there are so many vegan pages.
Right.
We got the Real Black Vegans. I was just sent a brother a bunch of information last night who is a diabetic, and he was asking me for some recipes, and I'm like, you're right. Recipes are just a finger touch away. The real black vegans, let me go to it real quick because it's just all here, but it's everywhere. Vegan is Peace, that's one. The Real Black Vegans, Our Raw Vegan Odyssey, that is a great page. They're constantly posting awesome raw vegan recipes. Columbia Veg is another one. And there's just so many. And once you tap into it, it will just evolve you into more information. And all you got to do is go out, buy your organic produce, get your recipes, buy your organic produce, get it to your kitchen, and work with it. Experiment with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Put that time in. Love yourself enough to give yourself some time to learn how to do some things.
Absolutely.
And all the YouTube videos are right there. They'll visually show you how to do it and what to do. It's everywhere. The world is going vegan, period.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Thank you for offering all of those resources for people to be able to connect to, because it's important to stay connected so they can connect to these energies and they can begin to do their own study and find things that resonate with them. So thank you for that. And for people that are charged up right now, fired up right now, and they're ready to go take action, is there a really simple, delicious recipe that you could share with our listeners that they can maybe, as soon as they're done listening to this show, they can go, try to make it right now?
Yes, definitely. One of the big things that people struggle with when they're trying to make the transition is this wonderfully tasty bacteria that we love called cheese. And cow's cheese, for those who don't really know, is really nothing but pure bacteria.
Yeah.
It is mucus, it is pus that has been, all the liquid part has been drained out of it, and it's just been solidified, and it is really mold.
Yeah.
That's what cow's cheese is. So I'm going to give you a recipe for some awesome cheese that you can make in your kitchen, in your food processor, out of sunflower seeds. So what you're going to do is you're going to get 3 cups of sunflower seeds, and you're going to put them in a bowl, and you're going to soak them in some nice filtered water, bottled water. Alkaline water is probably one of the best waters to use.
Yes.
Soak those sunflower seeds for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at the max. You're going to rinse and drain those sunflower seeds, and you're going to put them into your food processor, a nice size food processor, a 12-cup, a 14-cup, something like that. Hopefully you have that. If you don't, go and get it. You're going to need it. Okay, so then you're going to add in 4 cloves of garlic, juice your 3 lemons, and you're going to add in a half a cup of water. And you're going to pour that in as your seeds are spinning. As your mixture is spinning, you want to slowly pour that in, and it's going to mix in. You'll start smelling the aromas of the cheese itself. And at some point, you do want to take the top off and go in and scrape the walls down so that you're getting all the seeds. And you don't want to over-process it because you don't want the processor to heat up too much, because that will affect the enzymes in the cheese. But once you get it nice and smooth and creamy, it's nice and spreadable. And if you don't want it spreadable, if you want it more like a solid block of cheese, just don't add the water. And then when you take it out, put it in a bowl and let that bowl sit in the refrigerator for a bit. And then you can turn the bowl up, and then it'll be like a block of cheese. But this is a great recipe that you can use. You can use this cheese as a dip for chips, as a spread on crackers, as a spread as a dip for veggies. You can use it as a replacement for a mayonnaise on a sandwich type of thing. You can put it into your wrap sandwiches. It is trust me, everybody loves our cheese and chips. And it's a big hit. It's the same cheese that we use in our pizzas, in our lasagnas. Everywhere we use cheese, this is the recipe that the cheese recipe that we use. And I have some other cheese recipes that I'm going to be putting in my new book.
Nice.
Because there's some things that I've been wanting to do that I, again, have not had the support staff to go into the experimental realm as often, because I've been trying to keep up
Right.
with the stuff that people are, demanding now.
Yeah.
But this is a great recipe to help you get off of that mucus-causing cow's cheese, and I think it'll be something that people really enjoy.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, because people struggle with cheese. I mean, the cheese, the cheese is real as far as people trying to get off of the cheese.
That was the last thing I let go of.
Me too.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I held on. I held on to it for about 2 years before I finally let it go. So I know. So thank you for that. And as we, begin to bring the show to a close, so let's talk about everything that's out there for people. You have 2 books. Can you just tell us the name of those books again?
Sure. Simply Rawsome Delights is my first book, and Organic Goddess Leaves is my second book. Simply Rawsome Delights came out in 2010. Organic Goddess Leaves came out in 2012. And my next book project, which I'm projecting, I originally projected it for the April of this year, but I may prolong it to September, but it's going to be called The Heavenly Body Project.
Great.
Because this past year, I've gotten more into my own personal fitness, and have been working more on just toning and shaping my body in a much more sexier way. My body is nice because it's because of the lifestyle that I live already. But I really wanted to work more with personal trainers who are more on a vegan vibration and prove, that you can definitely build muscle on a plant-based diet, that sort of thing. So I have more fitness information in this book, and more new recipes and things like that. I'm really excited about it. And what else was the other part of the question?
And we just giving out ways for people to find all of the amazing things that you're offering. Can they get these books from your website, from Amazon?
Yes. Yeah, you can order my books through my website, and again, that's rawtopianbliss.org. And you can go there. You can order both of our books there. And we also do. We offer coaching services for people who are in the area who want to be coached. I have done some long distance coaching in the past. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more challenging. Mm-hmm. It's another set of guidelines when I do long distance coaching, because we got to have a system of accountability.
Right.
Whereas on the personal direct coaching, I meet with those clients once a week. We also in our space do a free wellness workshop every Friday evening. We have. I facilitate one a month myself, and then I invite other holistic wellness professionals in to facilitate some specific area of natural wellness. This Friday we have a chiropractor coming, and he's actually going to be doing a piece on massage therapy. And what else? We're also we have movie night from time to time where we feature films that are dealing with what's going on with our healthcare system, what's going on with our food supply, just to bring awareness to people so they can make better choices about their health and about their food choices. And our goal is to just basically empower people, teaching them how to prepare raw vegan wonderfulness in their own kitchen. We do a variety of classes. We have a starter class, which is $50, which is what we call a 3-dish class. And then we have a raw vegan transitional class, which is 2 sessions. It involves much more nutritional information, and it arms you with the mental, nutritional understanding so that as people around you start trying to pick your thing apart, you are armed with what to say and how, you feel more confident about what you're doing, and then other people can't pick apart your thing, and you start doubting yourself.
Right.
So we have that class, and then we have a body rebalancing course. That's 3 sessions. That's primarily for people who have health challenges like high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and even some cancer patients. And so that helps you to detox your body. It gives you the nutritional understanding. It gives you, you get all the learning how to prepare for yourself. It deals with how to green juice and all of those things. I put my clients on what I call a natural daily discipline, how to feed your body from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. And it's just naturally keeps your body in a proper balance, naturally keeps your body in a detoxifying mode, natural weight loss of unnecessary body fluids and body matters and stuff like that, and just keeps your body naturally where it should be. And then, of course, we offer our 90-day coaching, which is for people who are really serious about totally changing and transforming their lives for the better.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
And just as a quick side note, I really like the fact that you're empowering and arming your people with the ability to defend themselves. And isn't it just crazy that like a person can pop drugs, they can, eat fries, burgers, and pop, chips and things of that nature.
No one says a word.
No one says a word. They're like, hey, wow, how is everything going here? You want more? But as soon as you begin to, eat healthy and to, put vegetation in your body, people want to actually say, hey, are you sure that what you're doing is healthy? Are you sure that you're doing the right thing?
You're doing too much.
Yeah, are you doing too much? And you actually have to defend yourself for trying to live healthier and to live right, and people will try to break through that and shut you down and deter you to go back to the unhealthy stuff. That's crazy.
Exactly. It's just the state of the world today here in America. We have been so miseducated, so misinformed, so programmed into a lifestyle of just living death, eating death, death rituals, and we have lost our divine minds, the majority of us. But thankfully, there is that collective group of us that is awakening and realigning themselves with the laws of health, with the laws of life, and the laws of love, which simply say that I love the fact that my Creator has created me, and I love myself, and because I love myself, I'm going to feed my body properly so I can function effectively.
Yes.
And so the battles, I've kind of taken a different approach now, whereas I used to get into a lot of debating with people, trying to convince them and this, that, and the other, trying to help them. But I don't do that anymore because, of course, we all have the right to choose to do whatever it is we choose to do, whether it's good for us or bad for us.
Right.
And so I now work more in exercising the law of allowance, because I do understand that everybody is not going to make it. I do understand that we are going through a spiritual cleansing that the creative process is putting us all through, and that certain stuff has to just leave the planet. Right. And that's just what it is, even if it's someone that I love. Right. If you don't love yourself enough to feed yourself life, I cannot help you. Mm-hmm. Me loving you is not going to do anything for you if you don't love yourself. And for people who don't love themselves, we can't love them more than they love themselves, no matter how hard we try. So I don't waste that energy anymore. I just respect the fact that people are choosing to be wherever they are, and I'm here to serve and assist those who want to live, who want to transform their lives and want to raise their vibration. Yeah,
that's saying, you keep doing the work, but the porch light, I'll leave it on, and when you're ready, come on in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, we really appreciate you. We had a great time. This was a great show.
Yes.
Any parting words for our listeners on their path and on their way?
Just that, you know, we all together make up this creative process that we call God, that we call the Creator, that we call the Most High. And it is so critical that we actually conduct ourselves as God in the flesh. And that means we have to eat the food of the gods, which is the food that comes directly from the earth, without chemicals, without preservatives, without additives, without some man or woman who's decided that they think that they know better than God, because that doesn't exist. If you want to live and survive the times that are coming ahead of us, you will definitely shift your diet to the raw vegan lifestyle, because this is what's going to allow you to live. And if you don't, then we will happily see you on the other side. And it is quite okay, because ultimately there's no such thing as death in the realness of it all. And so just eat life and live life more abundantly. That's all I have to say about it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And lastly, for our listeners that they want to follow you, what's your different social media info so that people can follow you, connect with you, and learn from you?
Yes, we are on Facebook. We're on at Rawtopian Bliss Raw Vegan Diners Club on Facebook. But if you just put in Rawtopian Bliss, you'll find us. You'll see us. And then we are on Instagram, Rawtopian Bliss on Instagram as well. And then our website is www.rawtopianbliss.org. And you can see everything. You can see all of our photos from Instagram go there. Our daily menu is there. Our series of classes is there. If you want to contact me directly, you can do that through our website as well. And I just look forward to all the change and transformation that's going on in the universe. And eventually we are going to create the kingdom of heaven on earth for real, once all this dead matter is gone. So I just hope we're a part of the life force.
Definitely. And before we go, all the information that was discussed in this episode with Chef Sa, all of Chef Sa's contact information, her social media sites, her books, everything that we discussed. If you need that information, just go to jkhealthtribe.com and put Chef Sa in the search box. Sa is S-A-A. Type that in and you'll get access to the show notes page. And Chef Sa, thank you once again for joining us today. Powerful, powerful information, and continue to do your work. Continue to keep growing and keep that porch light on, right?
Yes, definitely. Alrighty, I thank you so much, and you all have a beautiful day, and we will see each other soon, I hope.
Definitely.
Alrighty.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
So that is the conclusion of our interview with Chef Sa. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, but most importantly, you received value from it. And to access the show notes page where we list all the information from the podcast, you can download the recording of this podcast as well as Chef Sa's contact information, her website, everything that we discussed in this episode. Just go to jkhealthtribe.com/31 and you can access that information. And also, before we go, just to let you know that we teamed up with Audible Books, where you can download one free Audible book as well as try their service free for 30 days. And if you do not like the service, cancel it before the 30 days, but you still get to keep that Audible book. So just go to jkhealthtribe.com/books. That's jkhealthtribe.com/books and download your free Audible book today. Okay, so until next time, live healthier.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe. To keep you on your path towards a happy, healthier lifestyle, we encourage you to visit jkhealthtribe.com for a free copy of the 8 effective ways to lose weight and keep it off, as well as more content to help you find your health balance. Thanks again, and we look forward to educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier.